Miami was known for partying.
Yeah, it's a little secret here. It's a little secret. Vanessa, I love the shoes.
I know, so fun. And I wore them to the Taylor Swift
really
concert last night.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous now. I feel like
Yeah, yours are cool too. They're just less sparkly.
You always know. She always knows the right thing to say to cheer me up.
Grumpy man. No, I'm
welcome
kidding.
to Miami. This isn't your first time. Is this anybody's first time here?
To Miami in general?
To Miami.
No, I've been here before. Yes.
Yeah, no, I've been here plenty of times.
Plenty of times.
Yeah, Winter Music Conference. Ooh. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that's a fun time. Pretty much, it's just a week-long crazy debaucherous party that happens here in Miami. So,
nothing like that ever happens in Miami.
No.
Right?
No. This is back in my youthful days. Nowadays, I'm like, yeah, it's a bit much.
It's 9 p.m. It's time to.
Yeah,
it's time to wind
exactly.
down.
9 p.m. That's bedtime.
Even though I was up till 1 a.m. last night.
Yeah, why don't you tell them what you were up till 1 a.m.
I know.
doing?
I already told them.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Taylor.
Swifty over
Tay-Tay. I
here.
heard her name's Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay.
Yeah. Little Tay-Tay. I don't know her, by the way, but.
I do.
Personally,
Next time I'll get you backstage passes.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll just give her.
You
let
have
me
the
text her
in
really
with
quick.
Taylor
Hold on,
Swift.
Taylor.
Okay.
So, homegirl, it's been a long time.
Oh, okay.
We used to date.
Okay, we're going off the rails.
Which song is about you?
Everyone.
Evermore. No, I'm kidding.
Well, welcome back to Miami. It's obviously this time of year is a lot of fun. It has to be a lot of fun for you guys to reminisce on something that they say 31 years ago, but I don't think I believe it. It feels like 12.
Yeah,
I'll take
12's
12.
good.
Well,
Sure.
12
is really a good number.
Sure. Because where did the time go?
Yeah.
Who's 12 in here? Anyone? Nobody. Yeah.
This wasn't your first acting gig. So can you tell me a little bit about your audition experience, being casted, finding out that this was going to be a Disney product? And were you a Disney fan at that point, growing up?
You go first? Yeah,
pointing
I'll
at
go
you.
First. Yeah, well, let me start it off, folks. No, I wasn't really much of a Disney fan. Okay. I mean, sure, the original, authentic Disney, Mickey, Goofy, stuff like that. I loved watching Saturday morning cartoons.
Right.
But no, I wouldn't consider myself a Disney fan. And then the auditioning process. She's mocking
I'm
me.
just kidding.
She's
Go.
mocking me.
No, go.
The auditioning process, it was just a cattle call, like pretty much all auditions for big productions. Winded down maybe 5 or 6 auditions later. It was down to like a few people. And then I thought I kind of had it in the bag, and then it was just crickets for a while. I was like, okay, so I guess I didn't get the project. About 5-6 months later, I got a call. Yeah, that long later. God. Yeah, well forgotten.
You're like, oh, Craig,
I was
like,
oh, wait, you're still trying to cast this? Like, you must be desperate if you're calling me like 6 months later. And then, I got a call, and they were like, we'd like to screen test you. And sure enough, they brought me on, and Vinessa was there. And this is, I heard later that Leonardo DiCaprio declined to take this role. So,
yes.
Hey, I'll take second best. That's fine.
I don't know if you know who he is.
Next to Leo,
some
second
actor.
best is pretty close, pretty good.
That is pretty good.
And so, so they screen tested us, and I think they saw that we had great chemistry, if you can't tell. And, yay.
Just kidding.
Get away from me. No, don't touch me. Cooties. Cooties. Oh, she's got cooties. And then sure enough, I think it was like instantly after. Did you step in dog shit? Because like, Jesus. Whew. We're not? Sorry, my old age, I start to think that we're in like weird places that we're not. But yeah, so to finish that off, we had great chemistry, and then very shortly after, it was like, you landed it.
Were you were you, that when people hear that it's a Disney project, like they instantly get a little bit nervous, like, ooh, I need the, I really want this gig. Did you feel the same way, or since you weren't necessarily a huge fan, you were just like, oh, this is just another project?
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. My whole experience in my acting days was never. There was only one time, maybe two times, one time in particular that I remember that it was like, wow, this is a very serious, important role. Actually, two times. One was This Boy's Life, which I went up for, and I got to read in front of Robert De Niro, and for me, I already idolized him and was like, wow, this is an actor I aspire to be. Right. So that was nerve-wracking. And then actually Basketball Diaries, I went and read, and I know. I was like,
both of them were Leonardo DiCaprio.
With Leo, right?
Right. You weren't available. You weren't available. So
I wasn't available, so I let Leo have it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's how things usually worked in my career. And but no, I never really felt intimidated or pressured. I just kind of was like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Moving on. And maybe that approach kind of benefited me,
right.
For me, I was a huge Disney fan. I loved all the classics, Snow White, Cinderella. I even loved the Disney, movies of the 60s, like, the original Parent Trap with Jodie Foster. I loved, Haley Mills, well, no, that wasn't Parent Trap. That was Haley Mills' Parent Trap.
Haley Mills' Parent
and
Trap.
The original Freaky Friday. Sorry,
Yes.
I mixed it up, you guys. You know what I mean. Anyway, so I was so excited to get the opportunity to audition for this, and I was also obsessed. I'm wearing ruby slippers. I was obsessed with The Wizard of Oz. So I felt like it was a amazing movie. I was obsessed, like probably a lot of you are, about Hocus Pocus. I watched it daily, like 4 or 5 times. So this was like a conglomeration of the two, like right. Disney plus Wizard of Oz. And I was 16, the same age as Judy Garland was when she did Wizard of Oz. It was like, and they're a movie about witches. I couldn't believe like this huge manifestation of this dream that was probably inwardly in my mind, and I didn't know, and it became this, amazing movie that I got to meet my friends and enjoy, like, my idols in their classic, now iconic witch roles. So it was amazing. And Omri's right. We basically had a very short audition process. For me, I think I was one of the the latter people to be hired. I even think Doug may have been hired before me. So, so I was, weirdly enough, I have no idea who was my competition. I mean, Leonardo, that's a pretty stiff competition, but I don't know who my competition was. It was only me and Omri doing the screen test. So I don't even think Thora was there as like a threesome. It was just like, the two of us doing some scene, which I don't remember what. That followed the original audition where Kenny Ortega ran out after me and was like, can you do it again? And his enthusiasm was everything. And he just, made sure that I felt comfortable to do it one more time. And then thereafter was the screen test. So I would say it was within a week's time.
Oh.
From the audition to the screen test. So Omri's here, like,
right.
Waiting for 6 months, the poor guy. I mean, that happens a lot.
Waiting for you to get the role.
Waiting for me to get the role. Waiting for me to appear, right?
It had to be absolutely perfect. And perfection, the two of us, happened to come 6 months later.
Absolutely. Now, Max wasn't necessarily seen in the best light. Like, he was bullied. He had his shoes taken. Obviously,
poor Max.
I know, poor Max.
Poor Max.
Did you catch any of that after the film? Were people yelling "virgin" to you? Like, did you happen to catch any of that?
Yo, virgin.
Did you happen to catch any of that after?
I mean, I still catch it now, but usually it's just Hollywood. It's still Hollywood. It's a Hollywood. I'm like, oh man,
You're going,
heard that one again.
No, I'm kidding. Like Jay.
But actually, a funny story. So after Hocus Pocus, I'll respond still.
He'll whip his head around to look at you.
Yes, that's me. No, I after Hocus Pocus, I I took a hiatus, or I kind of quit the business, and I went and followed the Grateful Dead for about 5 years. Kind of just wanted to go have a different experience, and that was a blast. But like in the parking lot, like everybody had nicknames, and nobody knew that I was Omri Katz, or at least nobody ever talked to me about, like, oh, hey, you're that guy from whatever.
Right.
It wasn't that. But they nicknamed me Hollywood anyway.
What?
Yeah. And it was just like kind of like random. That was like, oh, that's my
because
name
you
in
were
the
a
movie.
Hollywood actor.
Maybe because, or I was from LA, but I don't think it was because of acting, because I was
Oh,
from LA,
interesting.
and they were just like, oh, just call him Hollywood.
Because
That's a
you
good
guys-
nickname for him.
You guys have to remember when this movie came out. I mean, some of you know, but it was a bomb. Those who are, born '93 on may not know that because it was like just a part of your life from Disney Channel on. But it didn't really. It bombed at the box office. So the fact that he was called Hollywood, nobody knew. It was kind of a sad state of affairs. We basically were grieving over the fact that it didn't do anything. So even that year that it came out, I went trick-or-treating, and people were like, aren't you old to be trick-or-treating? I'm like, just kick me while I'm down. God.
What do they say now when you go trick-or-treating?
Like, hey, oh, Allison, huh? No, I'm kidding. No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't say it. They're like, oh my God, Allison's at our house. What?
Now, you mentioned it was, that it didn't do so well in the box office. When did you realize that years down the road that this had legs and that it was starting to grow this following that we would, it was just 2 days ago re-released in theaters on Friday.
Has anyone seen it in the theater since it's been re-released in this room? You did? Oh, yay. Awesome. Oh, in Salem. Okay, yeah, you were in Salem. We had our
that Janine?
Annual event. It is Janine, but it's okay. She was there. We know her. We did a. She's talking about we did a commentary in commentary over the film in Salem last week, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I even got to shave ice in the back of Larry's head.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was
the
that
crowd
was a
went
blast.
wild.
Yeah,
That
busting
was
out
fun.
my hair tools that I just randomly brought to Salem that weekend, and that was a fun little gag that we had.
But he's asking us about like when we recognized, and it felt like when we had our 20th
20-year,
anniversary. It was a D23 fan celebration. We watched the movie, just almost like the capacity of this theater right here, and people were really excited and enjoying the movie. And I just thought I was going to a screening and just having a good 20th anniversary.
We did a panel, and it was
The production designer was there, the guy who did most of Billy's makeup, the animatronics, cat person.
John Debney was there.
The composer,
Yeah, I think,
the three of us, Omri, Thora, and me,
Doug.
Doug, and Kathy, and
Was Kathy there?
she was, yeah,
Okay.
and the producer, he was there. So we afterwards,
And Kirshner was there.
David Krishna, yeah.
Yeah.
So we afterwards were just chatting, me, Thora, and then and Omri, and then Doug joined our conversation, and we were all just like, "Why don't we have each other's numbers? This is weird. It's like 20 years later, we don't even like
We've all
contact
lost
each
touch,
other.
kind of.
He quit, and
Yeah.
Thora was doing her own thing. I was doing my own thing. So then we just start talking to each other. We're like, okay, let's exchange phone numbers, and we look up, and there's just like people going, "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. Can we take a picture with you?" And then they say that to Omri, and then they say that to Thora, and then all of a sudden Doug is being pulled away. We're all being pulled away from
Pulled
each
away,
other.
literally,
And it was
mobbed.
a mob. We were just like, where did all these people come from? The entire theater came up, and we're just wanting to take a picture, and we were like, it was not like here where it's formalized in any way. We were just like, okay, and then we realized something had changed. These people are uber fans. And of course, being D23, they were. So we're like, okay, this is an example of what's actually happening. We just had no idea. We just thought it was dead in the water, and this kind of obscure little screening was happening.
Here, my dad sent me this the other day. I know you guys can't see it, but
Was that when it was happening?
yeah.
Oh,
My
that's
hair
so
was
cool. I wish we
super
could.
long, but just like, yeah,
You were
tons
so
of people
not wanting to
outside.
be there. It's
I
really
was like,
funny.
this is weird.
So
This is
swing by
really
the table.
strange.
Swing by the table afterwards. We'll,
Yeah,
we'll
swing
have
by
a
the
little show
table.
and tell.
That's so cool.
I'll just walk around and show every single person.
His dad and my mom do those kind of pictures. Actually, my dad does, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun to look at, yeah.
That was just one pic that he sent me, like, as a memory.
Right.
I don't know if it popped up in his Facebook or
Maybe,
something
yeah.
like that, but he's like, hey, check this out. I was like, holy moly. And it's crazy, yeah. It was just people mobbing us, and I think
Yeah.
we realized, like, oh, I thought this movie was kind of forgotten, and we were just kind of, like, getting back together to have, I don't know, maybe they were trying to, like, create a resurgency, but maybe at that point Disney was starting to realize with, like, DVD sales. I mean, now, like,
Yeah, they had the
merchandise.
numbers to
Yeah, I mean, the
see, yeah.
merchandise sales now are just out of control. With Hocus Pocus, it's I don't know the numbers directly, but I can only assume you go to pretty much any Halloween store or a lot of these third-party vendors or creators have licensing deals with Disney, and like I see all these handbags and I see all these shirts, and I'm like, holy moly, this is insane. And now it's just on Halloween, people decorate their houses like Christmas.
Yep.
And you'll just see
Guilty.
like houses dedicated to Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, they're on to something. This thanks to you guys,
Yes, that's true.
fans, this movie has given new life. And,
Yay.
it's great, given us new life too. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Give yourselves a.
yeah,
Yay.
thank you guys.
I mean, every Halloween, and they build it up. Freeform has their 31 days of Halloween.
Yeah.
And I feel like Hocus Pocus is 10 of those days.
Yeah, like 3 times a day.
Right, 3.
Or something like that.
I think so.
Do you have any merchandise? Do you have any collectibles, any things from that you, as you mentioned, T-shirts, bags? Do you have any of this stuff yourself?
We got to do it. We're going to do our own.
Well, are you
Yeah.
talking about like current merch or stuff we stole from the set?
Oh, well, that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, okay. So like current merch, we're working on stuff,
Yeah.
obviously dealing with big Uncle Disney, Megacorp.
Right.
It's a little scary going after, just like pulling the trigger like that and doing stuff. Working with them can be very difficult. Even, if you have ideas and you try to share it with them, they'll be like, yeah, no, we're good. And before you know it, they just steal it right out from under you. And you're like, that was my idea. And it's like, they're capitalizing on it. What about us? So, that's, as they say, that's just business. And it's like, yeah, but it's just like not a good moral code to follow. But, money rules, I guess. We're working on all kinds of cool ideas.
Yeah.
We feel like we are definitely, such a significant part of the original film that helped build this franchise, and we feel like we also deserve not just a little taste of something, but like our creative flow
Yeah.
and creative inspiration brought into this as well.
Absolutely.
I was
We brought
thinking-
these characters to
Yes,
life.
thank you very much.
Yes.
I know, and Max and Allison are dissed a lot in the merch world, so we're thinking of doing more merch of our own. Like I was thinking maybe doing something with salt could be fun.
Black flame candles.
Black flame
you know.
candles.
Yeah, all
Why
day
not?
long.
It could be fun.
That would actually need to
And,
contact
or
an alchemist that
your
can actually
tie-dye
create-
shirt,
Yeah.
my
yeah.
cardigan.
Yeah, Disney's doing it.
Yeah, why
Right.
not?
Why can't we do it?
Now you kind of alluded to maybe some stuff on set that you might have gone home with.
Yes, I actually did manage to, I guess, take the tie-dye shirt I was wearing. I got the second pair
Your
of
dad
shoes.
just found that, right?
Well, I found it in my dad's garage.
In your dad's
his-
garage, but he
you know,
saved
his-
it. It was well
Oh
done.
my God, and I was like, what a mess going through his garage. I'm like, Dad, you need to like not be such a hoarder. And
That was the one good hoarding thing.
Yes,
you did,
yes. No, there was a box of all kinds of awesome collectibles.
Yeah.
From back then. The shirt from the movie, the second pair of shoes I was wearing, not the cross trainers, but the boots, and then they had like 5 copies of that green bike I was riding. So I managed to finagle the producers into giving me one at the end of the shoot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I had a few
That is
things.
really
Yeah.
cool.
I don't have the bike anymore, too bad.
That's old.
It's old, but it's still, that's kind of one of those sentimental,
true.
I didn't think about it back then.
Right.
I actually put it to use. I moved to Wyoming and got heavy into snowboarding and mountain biking, and like, I just destroyed that bike, you know?
Oh, you
but
put
like,
it to good use.
oh
Good.
yeah. Lots of trails, lots of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Vanessa, did you manage anything?
I-
Anything managed to come home with you?
I feel like in my mind, I was asked if I wanted the cloak that Allison wore in the dissing scene of Max, where I give him his number back. And I feel like I just blame myself. I think I probably rejected it because I was like a Gen Xer being like, no, I'm okay, I'm cool. You know?
Yeah, this is like so out of style.
Yeah, this is not, I mean, yeah, exactly. No, save your memorabilia. But I have Allison's earrings that she wears in the movie,
okay.
which is great. And then it's sweet because there is like a memorabilia thing that Kenny Ortega did for me and Thora, which is, you know, that scene that's across the night sky of the three witches flying, that kind of really, you know, Disney-esque sort of thing, like, you know, Mary
Silhouette.
Poppins-esque pink sky. He kind of took that image and imprinted it onto a jewelry box. And so we have this unique jewelry box that's of that image in a purple and pink kind of painted box. So it's very sweet.
That's really cool.
Just Thora and I.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, oh, man.
It was sweet gift, wrap gift, yeah.
By the way, so if you do have questions, feel free to start lining up. You kind of mentioned trick-or-treating earlier. Do you have any trick-or-treating traditions that you had as a child that maybe that you kind of carried through to adulthood?
I don't, because I just feel like our generation was not that into it. Okay. Like, again, a Gen X generation. And my parents, I lived in Topanga Canyon, which was not a door-to-door place. It was like the middle of the woods. I don't know who lives
Literally
in,
is the mountains.
who grew up in remote areas where it's like your neighbor was 5 miles away. Like, I don't even know if any of you were, but that was me.
And literally
So-
like mountains. It's all like
It's all
uphill,
mountains.
downhill. It's not neighborhood
Yeah, and a major
friendly.
boulevard where people were going 55 miles an hour. They couldn't like walk along that. So there was a little like tiny area that was kind of towards the valley that we would go to, View Ridge, and we would go there. Yeah, we would go there and go trick-or-treating there, which was fun.
Is that right before Mulholland?
Yeah.
I know exactly where. I got a couple friends that live in that little.
Yeah, because they had sidewalks.
Yeah,
so you need
yeah,
to find the
yeah.
sidewalks. And
It's like a
that's
small neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that was all blocked off. And so now in my own neighborhood, which is just, we hit the jackpot of where I live now, my son and I go to a blocked off area where everyone can run amok and have a great time. So all these kids are just, you know, not worrying about cars or anything
Right.
like I was growing up.
Right,
So,
100%.
yes, so that's pretty cool. And I hope it becomes a tradition for my son. This will be his second year of knowing that I'm Allison. So that'll be fun for him to watch the movie, do some candy eating while watching the movie after trick-or-treating. Could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just to to continue on that. Yeah, I mean, Halloween was not as big a celebration as it is today.
Yeah.
But still, I did, you know, obviously I wore costumes or whatever. I can't remember any of the costumes I wore. It's probably what was the popular character of that year.
With the gross smelling masks that were just plastic.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
disgusting and plastic.
Plasticky, yeah. not that
Plastic,
Things,
like,
things have
cover.
changed slightly, but yeah, probably something in
way
that
better.
nature. You know, collect candy, rot my teeth out, of course, just like every other kid. And yeah, like carrying on like more traditions today. I obviously don't trick or treat anymore. But I do remember, like, even in, I feel like I have more memory of, like, my 20s of Halloween, because there's always, like, some great parties going on, and, you know, there would be some, like, I'd always wear, like, the non-sexy outfits. Like, you know, everybody dresses up as like a sexy something. And for me, it was always like either to gross you out or just look like such a complete dork where it would make you laugh. You know, I just wanted to be the silly person. That was for me. So I do have memories of that. That was always a good time. Great Halloween bashes. My 20s were a good time, I gotta say.
Yeah, did you ever go to the we grew up in the same city. Did you ever go to the Palisades for Halloween where I?
No, but I used to go sometimes to Isla Vista up in Santa Barbara.
Oh, that's nice.
And that was wild. That was crazy.
Yeah,
block
I
party
think our
wild.
generation was more like Jay and Ice, like really literally TPing people's houses.
That, for sure.
There was a place we went to called Moonlight Madness where like literally people were insane. All the kids were like run amok, like in the bad way of teenagers, like Jay and Ice, like throwing eggs at each other. It was like chaos. You can't get away with that now. TPing people's houses, like candy everywhere. It was insanity.
Yeah, go Gen Z.
I know, right?
Or Gen X, sorry, not Gen Z.
But Gen Z is
Gen
giving
X.
some order to things.
Yeah.
We got some questions over here. Hello, what's your name?
Howdy.
Hi.
Hi guys, my name is Danielle.
Hi,
Ooh,
Danielle.
lighting
Hi.
change. Love it.
I've gotten
Hi,
a
Danielle.
chance to talk to Omri a little bit today, but we only talked about pizza, not about Hocus Pocus.
Well, that's
So-
He must have been
important.
hungry. I'm sorry.
Pizza's a very important topic too, you know.
Yes, yes.
It is.
Good
I
pizza
agree.
is well appreciated.
Definitely. But on the topic of Hocus Pocus, I was curious to know your guys' thoughts about the book that came out 2 years ago. There was the Disney book called Hocus Pocus, all new sequel, where Allison and Max have a daughter, and she re-releases The Witches. Just wondered what you guys thought about that, if you had any creative input with that, or if that was just all Disney.
Oh, yeah, no. Creative input, no, right?
No creative input. I've never read the story. I've heard, and a lot of people assume that the sequel was actually going to be based off of the book,
Right.
which obviously it was not.
Nope.
Yeah, I can't really give you much insight on the book itself.
I read the book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she can give you more
I read the
insights
book.
than she understands.
It was really cute. It gets a little dark at one point, which I was like, yeah, that's probably why Disney didn't do it. But otherwise, the storyline made total sense. You're like this crazy, like, hippie professor, which makes sense. And
Professor.
I don't know what I was
Mr.
doing. I
Professor.
thought maybe running the museum, or maybe I put that in my head. Yeah, and then the Poppy, I think her name was the daughter. Really well done. And it was only Disney. Disney did it, so it's interesting to think, well, why didn't they just literally lift their own material from this book? But I thought it was great. It was, again, it got a little dark, underworldy towards the end. Did you think that too?
Because there was, like, I think a magic stone.
Yes.
That line, that was at the end, and it seemed like a little, underworld.
A little underworldy, but I love the history of the Sandersons. Of course, they talked about the lineage of the Sandersons and hinting at Allison's connection too, which is interesting, and Danny-ish in some way. I won't ruin it for everybody. But I also really enjoyed, because not only was there a sequel with the book, there was the original novelized version of Hocus Pocus, which was cool for me because I was like, oh, this is all the internal dialogue that Max and Allison were having. Like, I really admire Danny and how, like, you know, much of a whippersnapper she is, and I appreciate her savviness, like these kind of internal things that flesh out our characters. I thought it was great to read both of them back to back.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Did you like it?
I did. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I was sharing with another volunteer that I'm working with today that I thought the sequel was also going to be from
Yes.
the book. So my friends and I and my mom, we all read it together, and we got together to have a book discussion on it, like a little book club, and we ordered the Hocus Pocus charcuterie board for
Yes.
our book club snack. I'm telling
Wait, you
ya.
can order that? It's already done?
Dead man toes and
You can place
Yeah.
your order at Publix with
Stop.
the dead man toes, which are actually the little pickles
That
on
is
there.
funny.
And they put everything in the shape of the 3 witches.
Who else has done that? Anyone else here? The charcuterie board? No.
What I'm doing
Okay.
after
It
this,
was
though.
very
I know,
cute.
right? We're all hungry. Let's order the
I'll
Hocus
show you
Pocus
guys a
charcuterie.
picture. I'll
Yeah.
stop by and show you guys a picture. So we had
Fun.
a watch party as well as the book discussion, and we were all like, that wasn't the book. You
I know.
So it was still very good, the second movie, but yeah, a little odd that it was both released the same year and they weren't the same, the book and the movie. But
Yeah, I know.
just more ideas in the Hocus Pocus realm. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
also just a last note, the first versions of the script that we read were not very Disney-esque.
Yeah, they're
at least
pretty
from
dark and not
yeah,
comedic.
Yeah, very sinister almost.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I don't know if Disney had been on board yet or exactly how that unfolded, but yeah, I mean, like you said, they could have taken the book, and even if there was some, some darker aspects of the book, they could have just, cleaned it up a little bit.
Disneyfied it.
Disneyfied it a bit.
Disneyfied
and
their own Disney
their
book.
own book, and
Yeah.
they could have done that, but they didn't, and
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe there's more down the road.
Maybe there is more.
I have one last question that I thought of when you brought up dark. So, rumor, maybe you guys can confirm this. Is it true that Billy had real bugs in his mouth?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He
live
did.
mods.
Oh,
No mods.
yeah.
No mods
Bow,
died
bow.
in the making, just so you all know.
Thank goodness.
But yeah, no, there was actually a moth animal
Wrangler.
wrangler, whatever, on
with
set
in a trap
to make sure.
in his mouth.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
kind of crazy. I wish Doug was here to explain
Yeah.
the process of that. But he basically had like a silicone casing mouthpiece where like they had to, stay alive until we actually filmed the scene. And
Yeah.
because he had mods in his mouth, he was
No
talking about how
CGI
he was
there.
salivating, and he's like, "Oh my God, these things are just going to get wet and just."
And the wings
plop
obviously
out.
won't function.
Yeah, and the wings won't function or whatnot, but
Yeah.
it's
Crazy.
pulled it off. One take.
They did
too.
all the
One
practical
take.
things they could in this movie. It's kind of fun because then we live to tell the tale.
Right. I don't know if that would have been the case now.
No, no way.
Not at all.
No, CGI
No.
mods.
Yeah, it would have been
nowadays,
CGI
yeah.
mods now.
For sure.
CGI's
Thank
come a
you so
long
much.
way.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Emily.
Hi, Emily.
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 I'm imitating Jason Marsden.
Emily
My
with-
sister Emily.
I will always be with you, Emily.
My question for you both is, if you guys could go back to the original film in 1993, what would you add from a specific scene or scenes from your imagination input? Like anything that you thought of maybe at the time when you were filming that you wanted to add something to a certain scene, or I don't know.
With film, you only get like such a
Limited amount.
limited amount of time, like hour and a half, 2 hours for a feature film, typically. And I don't know, Hocus Pocus, probably about 90 minutes or something. I think whatever, didn't make the cutting, whatever they cut out, I think it was assembled well. I personally wouldn't really change anything. I think they put together a great piece and left out what was unnecessary for whatever they had to do. And I think overall it was like, they picked the right moments. It was edited properly, and I can't really think of much else to really, complete the story. So.
I thought it was perfection too. That's why we're obsessed and watch it over and over again. It's just perfect, like from beginning to end. Except maybe Max and Allison could have kissed at the end.
I was thinking that
Maybe.
too.
I knew you were gonna say that. You should just say it, lady. No, I'm kidding. But that
Well-
would have been too corny, I think. It was a really, we needed to have like Danny have her moment with her ghostly love.
And maybe
Yeah.
they were thinking, if the movie hadn't bombed and there would have been a sequel much sooner than later, that could have left the mystery of like, oh, did Max and Allison stay together?
Yes.
Or did they not, So maybe
good
leaving the
twist.
kiss out was like, yeah, well, maybe we'll see. Maybe she was kind of like Allison was a little
maybe if
taken
you-
back after she's just like, this idiot just lit the black flame candle
And didn't do
after I told
anything.
him not to.
And I did everything.
And
to get
yeah,
us safe.
and basically almost destroyed this town and maybe the world.
Well,
And,
maybe if you were Leo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
yes.
guys.
And I love your leggings or your tights. Those are cool.
Hello, what's your name?
Brielle.
Hi, Brielle. Hi,
Hi. So, as Vanessa's niece, do the rest of your family members love the movie? Because personally, I mean, I admire you both and just watch it all the time. So, do your children and your family members just love the movie?
So thank you for the question. So my son is 6, and the first time he saw the movie, he was holding on to me so tightly. I thought he was gonna bruise me because he just didn't know what to expect. He was just like, "It's a movie about witches, and I'm gonna be scared." He was only 5, or almost 5. And then afterwards, he had a full review of the movie. He was like, "Winnie, she's so mean, and Mary, why is her mouth like this? And Sarah, she's so pretty." And I was like, "Okay, well, what about Allison?" He's like, "Who's Allison?" And I said, "Mama." And he's like, "Oh yeah, Mama, you were good, but Sarah, she's so pretty." I'm like, "I know, she's my favorite witch too." So out of the mouths of babes, right? He could care less about me. But now he's very much like a huge Hocus Pocus fan. It's so cute because one lady came over to our house and she's like, "Where are you traveling?" And I'm saying, "I'm going to Miami for this convention." "Oh, what are you doing there?" And he's like, "She's in the movie Hocus Pocus. She's Allison." It's just very cute. So he's grown to understand the magic of this movie and how it's continued on with all you all. So it's fun. It's really fun. And then my family was there on set, so that's interesting. We did the commentary on that for our event last weekend in Salem, and it was funny because I remembered there's a guillotine on set, and my family took our Christmas photo. That's how sarcastic we are, and dark we are. So my sister's head was in the guillotine. We're like, "Merry Christmas!" So I know it was funny. So. I know it's such a good picture. I still have it. So yeah, they love it too because they experienced the movie with me, and they also love the movie too. It's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, family and friends, who I pretty much consider family as well. All through October, it's like, "Hey, guess what I'm watching?" And it's just kind of unavoidable, I guess. It's on everywhere, or
pictures they take up the
pictures,
screen.
merchandise, all that stuff kind of reminds everybody. So, I get bombarded with phone calls and text messages and whatnot. My kids,
which we love. If you're bombarding us with
Sure.
DMs and all, we love. It's
it's
we love this
hysterical.
movie. It's fun.
It's hysterical. My stepkids, they love the movie very much, or at least as kids growing up. So they were really stoked when I kind of came into this family unit. That it's like, "Oh my God, he was Max in Hocus Pocus." So yeah, even till today, they still
Yeah.
they kind of use it as bragging rights. They're like, "Well, my stepdad was," or they get like constantly, I wouldn't say harassed, but teased about "Guess what I'm watching?" I'm like, I deal
Oh my
with
God,
this
I can't
stuff
wait for
daily.
that. I think my son's too young for that, so that's going to be funny.
Oh, it's coming.
Funny when they're when he's
It's
a
coming.
teenager.
It's coming, even before teenager.
Okay.
Be like, "Your mom. I saw your mom. I can't believe it." Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Thank you. Hello.
Thanks, Brielle. What's your name?
What's your name?
Christine.
Christine?
Hi.
Hi.
You have a question?
Yeah.
What's your question?
How was it like being in the movie Hocus Pocus?
It was the best, Christine. Every day it was like magic. What you feel about the movies, what we felt making it. And so, literally, it's true. Every day on set, Kenny Ortega, the director, made us feel like we're having the best time of our lives. I mean, he comes from a choreography background. I don't know if you know or familiar with Kenny Ortega, the director, but he's choreographed Dirty Dancing. He's done some Michael Jackson videos. Like, he was just a dancer first. So every day he came to set and he would be like, hello. It just was like kind of like he was a ringleader, like, welcome to
Broadway play.
Yeah, it was a Broadway play every day, and music was playing. I feel like music was playing in between.
Sure,
sometimes.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, from like the Video Village, would play music.
How did you react when you realized that you were going in the movie?
Oh, when we got the part, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I jumped around in the parking lot. I was so excited because of me loving Disney movies. Again, I was really excited, and I could tell this movie was going to be good.
Yeah, and I think just the competitive nature of humans. You're the one that's selected out of hundreds of auditioners, and that's quite exciting in its own. It's like, wow, I got first place basically. So that's that was
true.
very exciting. And then to know who you're working with, let's just take like Bet and Sarah, because they were already, I was aware that they were already involved. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be working side by side with Bet and Sarah, and Sarah Jessica Parker and Vinessa Shaw. And I was like, wow, I've really made it to the top.
Even though it was my second movie, but anyway. Kathy we loved too because of Sister Act.
Yes, Sister Act was amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, she was like still kind of up and coming. Sister Act was a big thing for her, but she, she was out of the three. She was probably the most supportive, the most interactive, the most just kind of like a humble, just caring human being.
True.
Out of the three witches, and all of them were fantastic and fabulous to work with, and genuine and sweet. But I feel like we all like really resonated and connected with Kathy more than anything.
It's true.
Thank you, Christine.
She's very supportive.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Thank you for both of your questions. You look so cute too, by the way.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, guys.
Howdy.
Hi.
Matthew.
We found you.
Yeah.
We found you. There you are.
Who? I don't know.
Is your
I've
name
been looking
Waldo
all
by
over
any
for
chance?
you.
You didn't see me.
Is your name Waldo by any chance?
No, that's
Me?
not my name.
His glasses are in his pocket, but also on his face. Very interesting.
Yeah, I can't wear these, so I have to change them.
You can't wear those. I know, it's true. Permanently in your pocket.
No, my question is, because I was thinking of Golden Girls, and I've asked people this before, but
I love that you were thinking of Golden Girls. Okay, go ahead.
because I love Betty White, because Betty
Yeah.
White,
I love.
improvised.
Me too.
But was there any moments in the movie that they kept that you guys may have improvised? Like maybe forgot a line and then said, oh, maybe this will be a little bit better instead, or like, oh crap, I don't remember my line. Oh, I'll just say this, whatever.
No, but one thing definitely that we had to kind of just work with is, we had all these cats, and each one of these cats could do one trick. So, like, it was very spontaneous because the cat obviously can't perfect their take. It's just like sometimes you kind of what you can get out of this cat. So I don't know if there was anything that we, was like kind of random, but if anything was random, it was probably the cat's acting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we have time for one last question
yeah.
here.
Go
Hello. What is your name?
Elisa,
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa.
what's your favorite witch?
Ooh, your favorite witch.
I mean, I already revealed it. It's Sarah.
Allison.
Ah!
Sarah
Well
would
done.
be mine, but that's just because I was young and 16. I was like, oh, Sarah.
I was young and
Hi.
16 and was like, she's hilarious. I love her.
She was such a ditz, but she was.
And you
Cute
can
and-
tell all of what she was doing in the background was like all Kenny's idea. Like, they're just talking about their stuff, like, her being like, sister, they're being honest with thyself, and like, and she's just in the back hanging on the the graveyard
fence,
fence,
yeah, on the fence.
You could tell that was his idea. What's your favorite, by the way? Who's your favorite? I mean,
Mine is the same one.
really?
Sarah?
No way. Why do you like her?
Because she's funny.
She's so
She
funny.
was hilarious.
Me too. I liked
They
her too.
all were though.
They all were pretty funny.
Were funny, but it's funny how like everybody connects to one of these witches differently.
Yeah, it's true.
And yeah, she was pretty and hilarious at the
Yeah.
same time.
There is a survey you can do of which Hocus Pocus character you know. I was doing a Hogwarts one with Brielle, but there's a Hocus Pocus one, and I got Allison, of course.
And she's certain I would get Max.
Yeah,
so.
she's totally Max. I remember Thora got Winnie, so I thought that was funny.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you all for hanging out with us here this afternoon.
Thank you guys.
Thank you to all. The reason why we're here is because of you, as you know. So thank you for making this a magical time in our lives again and again every year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So before we go, would you like to commemorate this occasion with a giant group photo?
Sure
Yeah,
thing.
come
Why
You guys
not?
want to participate in a little
forward.
group photo?
Who wants to participate?